Industries across the country are feeling the economic hit from COVID-19, and in one sector, the pain is particularly hard to bear. Indigenous tourism in Canada has become a booming $2 billion industry, with interest around the world growing in Indigenous-owned and Indigenous-run businesses that were helping to preserve and grow cultural roots. Well, now those businesses are being forced to shut down. As many as 40,000 employers could lose their incomes for the year. For more, we're joined by Keith Henry. He's the president and CEO of the Indigenous Tourism Association of Canada. Welcome to Your Morning.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Keith, the federal government has committed more than $300 million in stimulus funding to try and support Indigenous businesses. Does this help?
Yeah, it does help, but it's a very modest help. And the challenge is it sounds like a big number, but really what it is about $40,000 loans for Indigenous-owned businesses. Our industry, as you said at the outset, is being devastated. It's a real crisis. And for many of our businesses, that financial assistance is simply not enough, not to mention the fact that this is really a loan. And many Canadians think that this money is just being granted. It is a loan. And tourism is going to take a few years to rebuild. So there's a lot of risk involved with those small loans.
For people not familiar with the industry, can you explain what are some of the unique challenges that face Indigenous tourism?
Well, I think today, as a result of COVID-19, the big challenge is how do we maintain business going forward? I mean, COVID-19 we thought 2020 was going to be another record-breaking year for us. The number of customers we have is zero. And in the immediate forecast, 2020, we've kind of written 2020 off for roughly 1,900 businesses. So it's really about cash flow. It's about liquidity. We're hearing in other sectors. It's a significant challenge for our businesses just to survive past COVID-19.
Yeah, and then looking past that, Keith, I mean, as you mentioned, most of your business, the intense part of your business comes from global tourism. Well, that has all been shut down. This is a $2 billion industry. How long is it going to take, do you think, for everyone to get back on their feet, if they can?
I truly believe we're looking at a 3 to 5 year recovery. I mean, we know many international countries have shut down their travel internationally for a year. You look at France and other places, they're not coming back. And in fact, some of those markets are our top markets. 45% of our business has come from outside of Canada. So that's a significant impact that we just can't grow overnight in the midst of the situation. So we're really needing a longer term plan than what we see the tools in place right now.
What's going to happen to these businesses and these business owners?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm very worried. I take the calls. We've been trying to raise the profile of the issues. I think of people like Joe Bailey, who runs North Star Adventures in Northwest Territories, Aurora Viewing, and his markets were primarily China, Korea. That market's gone, and his business has lost several $100,000, 20 employees, local Indigenous people. To be honest with you, $40,000 tools aren't going to be enough for him to even cash manage the next year in front of him. I think of Little Chief Restaurant owned by the Tsuut'ina Nation, 50 employees near Calgary. I'm not sure. So right now, I think we're just trying to give hope for our businesses that we will get through this, but we do have to be practical to say that if there's not more investments in the way we're going to save the industry, there's not going to be an industry to save in the next 12 months.
It is heartbreaking to hear these stories from the industry. Thank you so much, Keith, for coming on to share them with us.
Really appreciate you having us on. It's a very important story, and Indigenous economies are being gutted as we speak. And it's we need to do more, and we need to do more now. Time is of the essence right now.
And hopefully we see that happen. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.